Yup. Ew. What's going on, everybody? Figure I would hop on the glide cam, get some glide cam practice in, and come out here and talk to you about shopping for used cars. Particularly in shopping for used cars, we're going to talk about body work and how to identify some bull hockey. So any of y'all that know the story behind Smokey, you know he's a Craigslist bomb. I bought this car, that car, out of a parking lot at Walmart off Craigslist. And I did that for a reason. I wanted a car that I could work on. I really enjoy wrenching on it. And the second reason being that I wanted a car for cheap, real cheap. So I'm not going to name the price just because quite frankly, it's nobody's business what I paid for the car. But I'll say that for a running driving Fox body, I probably bought it 20 to 30% less than what you'd pay normally for a Fox body. The guy was asking a number and I paid him nowhere near that for it. And it's no insult to him or anything like that. I mean, you start asking high and you come to an agreement on price. But with that being said, there comes some problems with buying a project car. This one in particular had subpar paint and body work. So without further ado, I'm going to start showing you some of that, and I hope to give you some tips on how to identify some of the warning signs of subpar body work. Now, I'm not worried about it. I bought the car needing body work because I'm a body man. I'll eventually take this car down the metal and do it right. But anyway, I'm going to start showing you guys some of the stuff. All right, so we'll start out with some of the more subtle stuff, and then I'll show you some of the more extreme things. I hope the mic's picking me up well. I'm speaking from behind the camera. I'm going to darken this up a touch and see if I can show you the streaking of the paint. So sorry for the video actually changing color pretty quick. It's kind of hard to spot them. I don't have any direct light. I kind of did this on purpose. I think you can kind of see the streak right there. And you'll see some dents and dings. Anyway, the streaks, tiger striping. It's from somebody going to paint the car and painting like this instead of getting up above the car and painting straight and evenly and getting good even wet coats on the car. This car wasn't originally tungsten gray. It was originally black, and you'll see some evidence of that here in just a second. But yeah, that's kind of a warning sign of a self-done job or a poor job. Also, I'll put my finger on it. That's the paint cracking. That can be caused by improper use of body filler or too thick a paint or a reaction between the clear coat and the paint. There's a number of things that can cause that, but in this particular case, you don't hear any body filler in it. That's just either crap materials or crap application. Moving on to the front bumper, you'll see that the paint has literally flaked up off the car in a number of places. Now there's a couple of reasons for that. In a polyurethane, like a flexible bumper, there's flex agents and stuff like that you would put in the paint to keep it from cracking when the bumper moves, things of that nature. And if someone uses the wrong kind of compounds or wrong kind of primer that doesn't flex, or even paint that doesn't, I'm chewing on my words, paint that doesn't have any flex agent, stuff like that. There's all sorts of solutions. You know, as I get into the body work on this car, which it may be a while, just because as you can see I don't have a garage, I'll start going over that stuff with you guys, you know. But particularly the front bumper, like there, down here on the fog lights, that's actually a jack incident. But even then, just lightly bumping the bumper with my jack shouldn't have spidered it out and knocked paint off. That's, you know, it's crap, but it is what it is. Also, more evidence of the lack of use of proper mixing techniques and compounds in the paint. And yeah, I'm sitting here trying to say smart stuff, and I'm not a smart person. So anyway, this is more evidence of the paint not being mixed correctly for flexible parts of the car. It's just coming off, and even down here on this rear skirt panel, you see it coming off. One good thing about the car, it's all metal. even in some of the most common places where people correct that or put body filler in. I literally stood in the parking lot with the guy and knocked on the whole car and threw magnets at it to check for body filler. So it hasn't been slopped full of body filler. But one of the biggest things I've got a problem with, I'm gonna have to address, is you'll see here the paint's gone. That's a common symptom of what I like to call a scuff and spray. This car wasn't painted correctly. Someone scuffed it down, shot it with a thin coat of primer, if they even did that. I think they did. I got some evidence of primer right there. But they just scuffed it and sprayed it instead of actually doing the proper time or the proper methods to get the paint to stick. That is still, with a little bit of wax and buffing, that's still clean black paint underneath all this. So more evidence that the car was originally black, but you know, symptoms of a, for the lack of a better way to put it, piss poor job at painting the car. That's all stuff that I'll address, and I intend to take the car all the way down, just because I've got some little spots of rust, nothing serious, but you'll see right here where my finger's at, a little bit of surface rust here and there, and even in that crack on the roof I showed you, there was a little bit of surface rust. You know, but I still think I did all right with the car, particularly with the price I paid for it. But I hope that gave you guys a little bit of help identifying, you know, shoddy bodywork when looking at discount cars, for the lack of a better way to put it. I'm still happy with this car because I've got full suspension under the car. It's got a motor with 10,000 miles on it. A lot of aftermarket parts, full exhaust. I need to work on it and get it fixed, obviously, because it's kind of jerry-rigged. Aftermarket shifter, 373 gears, aluminum drive shaft. Got a lot of stuff in it, and I still have under $5,000 tied up in this car with a pretty much fresh drivetrain and full suspension work. Well, full, I say. I don't have control arms and things of that yet, but I've got springs, all new bushings, the front and rear, caster camber plates, new rack and pinion. I've got a steering shaft in there I got to install, but all these parts that I'm talking about are included in the 5,000 or less that I have tied up in the car. I think it's like 5,200, I think, total, including purchasing the car. You know, now I told you I wasn't going to tell you what I paid for the car. I still mean that, but the total amount I have in the car I'm fine with saying, which is, you know, under 55. I think it's like 52 and change. So that that's exciting for me to have a running and driving Fox body with, I know that's a piecemealed interior, it's not complete yet, but I've got all OEM black interior to go in it. It was titanium originally, but black interior, silver or tungsten gray, in this case Mustang, would typically cost more than $5 grand, so I'm happy about that. Anyway guys, that's about it for the bodywork stuff. Like I said, I knocked on the whole car. It's all steel. It's definitely wavy. I don't know if I've got enough light to show you that, guys, but I'm still stoked. So anyway, hope that helps out in your car hunting, and if you dig the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.